intros in.
Yeah.
Interesting.
You're in the middle.
I'm in the middle?
Yeah.
Alright, that's this whole story then.
No, we could just pass it around.
That's true.
Yes.
Good.
Alright, so what are we talking about here today, guys?
The Switch.
That's true. It's been out for about 2 weeks now.
Mm-hmm.
Sold out everywhere in literally the first 12 hours it was released. Everywhere. So, what do you think about that?
All you iPhone users, you got nothing on that 12-hour buy on the Switch, because you guys tried like selling that out, and that only sold out in like 3-4 days. 12 hours, man, you guys ain't nothing.
Seriously though.
The lack. Hold on. The lack of stock the Switch had really angers me, frustrates me.
Mhm.
I'm all around pissed. I don't think I'm allowed to say that, but
Whatever, man.
Yeah.
It's literally the only way you can describe the feeling right now.
true.
Is the fact like there's people who couldn't exactly pre-order it, but they could buy it like the day after, kind of thing.
Mhm.
And so it's like there's only like 25 like not pre-orders available in like each store, kind of thing.
Mhm.
And so it's like if you weren't there at the midnight opening, you're screwed. I mean,
Yeah.
no one knows when the restock is. It's supposedly from the 21st, anywhere between the 21st to the 31st. But Nintendo hasn't given any word, so that's a bit enraging kind of thing.
Mhm.
Because I, for one, want one very much. I have been searching everywhere, and that'll probably lead to the next problem with the scalpers.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you want to take charge of that.
Well, I mean, because like what I'm thinking this whole thing is like generally like it's kind of like the amiibos, like those limited edition ones, and some of like the actual like amiibos, like obviously like Little Mac. There was like Zero Suit and well, not very many Pikachu, but it was like kind of like Roy and Ike. They were kind of like really taken every single time. They're just like right off the bat, like anything you wanted wasn't there because everybody already grabbed it. Yeah. And like by the prices on how they are, like the Switches are, like man, like, they're like double or even sometimes triple the actual price. Just like, like insane. I'm like, jeez.
So bad.
Yeah. I mean, like, I wonder, like, why doesn't Nintendo, like, restock? Like, if they know that it's, like, a supply and demand kind of thing, like, just add more supply, and there'll be more demand at that point. Yeah, so, Eddie, what is it? I don't know. What do you think of the actual design? Because I'm really digging it. Like, I really do.
I suck. You haven't talked to me.
The design?
Yeah.
I actually like it.
Mhm.
It looks like it's comfortable from the feedback that I'm, Yeah, I like the big screen, one screen. Not like DS was alright. I just
DSXL.
yeah, true.
You always had to have an XL like XL version.
See, like me in the design for it, it's pretty freaking genius because it's like it's basically like still the same concept as like the Wii U, but like because the sides can actually slide off of the screen, it's a lot more comfortable to use, kind of thing. Because like I know with the Wii after a while it'd be tiring to hold that thing, and you can only do it in one position.
Yeah.
But because you can slide off and you have the separate Joy-Cons, and let alone those are also become two separate controllers, and so it's just like it's just smart because it's compact.
Yeah.
And it's portable. So I mean, I don't know. I like it a lot because it's a combination of all of the systems over the years, and so that's what makes it pretty smart design. And the fact that they use the tablet integration for literally mobile users because it's a mobile device now. It's a hybrid console is what it is. So I don't know. I dig it pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what do you guys think that they plan on, like, so obviously, like, the Xbox One and has VR, they're going to be putting VR, and PS4 is going to have a VR, and actually they plan on doing that with the Switch as well. Like, what do you guys think? Like, yo, actually playing like Breath of the Wild in VR form.
Too much. It's, I mean, because like I've had a hands-on experience with the Switch for the first time on last Saturday. That, oh my god, it's like it's really solidifies the point that you want one, right? And so I mean, it's $300, and so the headset's probably, if they do eventually end up coming out with the VR headset, that's probably maybe $300 again, because headsets like those are pretty expensive. But because it would just use the screen, that might dock down like $200 probably if it's just the head strap. There's actually the whole story behind the VR Switch thing, which we'll probably get into later.
Yeah.
Because of the HD Rumble features it has now on the Joy-Cons. Pretty freaking crazy. But yeah, I think Zelda in VR might be a little much. I mean, I played the game itself. It's huge, and so I think it's fine just the way it is, kind of thing. But I mean, if they had VR, I don't really know how that would necessarily work out, because it's a third-person game, not a first-person game. I mean, they could probably do a first-person mode for it, which may make it more intense. But then again, I think it might have to take away from the beauty of the game at the same time, because you're looking at less rather than everything that's there. I mean, yeah, it will encapsulate you into the environment with the headset. But at the same time, that's a huge change for Zelda, and the fact that, I mean, they just went open world, so I think it should just be one change at a time, rather than a constant cycle of, here's all of this new stuff, and you're going to accept it because of Nintendo.
I think that was like the bad thing about like actually having the Wii, because I don't think everybody was like they liked the concept of motion controls.
Dude, that's huge.
But nobody nobody was really ready for that, because after like obviously the Wii was like kind of on par with like I guess the 360 and PlayStation 3 at the time. But as they kept like they tried to go with the Wii U and try using the same concept ish, it didn't really work, because they didn't really like fix some of the bugs with it. Which I'm really glad for this Switch though, because they came back from that mistake. They really did.
Oh yeah,
they really did. Yeah, like oh man, like. You thought like boxing with the Wii, the old school Wii controllers was good.
The only good boxing was Punch Out.
Yeah, you got this new like form of boxing with the Switch, like way better, and actually uses your like motions really well. Yeah, you can actually curve instead of trying to like figure out how to curve with the.
It's not
Wii.
like the dumb Kinect camera.
Yeah,
it just knows its gyroscopic features. It's so good.
It's good. Which I'm pretty surprised, because like I know Xbox and PlayStation, they're trying to keep like the same thing constant, trying to actually always stay exactly the same
that formula.
Yeah, like which is pretty good sometimes. Like oh yeah, like I get it. Like if something like if it's not broken, it probably basically still works.
Yeah.
But it's just. I feel like they can kind of like reinvent it like a little more. Like obviously, like PS4 has a little touch in like the middle, but Xbox isn't doing too much of that. They're just kind of like staying like pretty much exactly the same.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. Like I feel like if you can kind of like reinvent every little once in a while, that'd be nice. Like obviously, like that's what. Nintendo kind of did, is they kind of like took a chance for it, and though they didn't get as much money for it, I mean at least they took a chance to realize like what mistakes they had to change and what things they had to bring back, and which is what the Switch was. Like the Switch, like they, instead of the one full controller, like the motion controller, it's actually like a good decent controller, and plus it can like be mobile, or it could just be a mobile console, or like it could just be a home console at once. Which is like probably the best thing that I really like about this, because that's what always made me bad, is like having to leave in my house. Like, want to play my game, Mom? Come on, let me play my game.
One more temple.
And then it's like, oh come on, got to be this last level, and then you can't even do that because it just stays at home. But the Switch, like it really helped that problem.
Boost
like,
Roda everywhere, man. Boost Roda everywhere with Skyrim. But there's so many things I could say about the Switch right now. My main concern is, though, why come they didn't advertise it sooner?
True.
Like-
True.
because it had this enormous launch. I think might have been because it was only announced like on what was it 2 days after Christmas.
I think it was 2 days after.
It was so it was like they did that, and then literally like 3 months later it's out, and so it's like I don't think that was good in a sense because the pre-order thing like right after that came out,
Mhm.
it was huge. It wasn't spread out, so I don't think Nintendo was necessarily prepared
Uh-huh.
because of the onslaught of the wave it was
I-
when it was announced.
So, all for you guys who had Snapchat, or any of you guys who are on YouTube or watch YouTube, obviously, if you guys went on IGN, they definitely told everybody like way before, like those were the only announcements that you got of the Switch,
I mean,
which was probably like a year prior to. But that was just like their sketches and stuff, like thinking, oh yeah, they were planning on giving you a new Nintendo system, which was the NX.
Annex at the time, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what's next?
Yeah, or like what? Well, like, good idea, but I mean, now you guys got the Switch and everything, and obviously, thank you IGN for like obviously giving like some, what is it, like announcements about it, and like showing like what it might and might not have. So, really glad for that. That was like a really helpful thing, and only for like super geeky people who like watch those things, obviously knew that. And there's some of you guys who are pretty geeky, but probably didn't know about IGN. But obviously, you guys should go watch them as well.
Great.
They're really helpful on like gaming stuff and everything. And yeah, like I was really happy when I saw that, like all those announcements. Like from there, I was just like, oh great, definitely going on Snapchat more for
I know,
this.
it's like I knew 2 years in advance, man.
Yeah.
2 years in advance.
Yeah, because a lot of the systems kind of like tell you way in advance, or at least some of the sketches outline like, oh, we plan on doing this. But I feel like they were trying to play it safe this time.
Yeah.
It's just like, because with the Wii U, they kind of gave you prior, but still didn't gain as much publicity as they like really wanted to. But as for the Switch, even though it was announced like 3 months before it was actually like released, people actually started like wanting the Switch, especially since like what they announced, like
Yeah.
obviously like a console that doesn't have to be at home anymore, like
Yeah.
other than like mobile console like DS, the PSP, things like that. Like it kind of like was like really innovative, which was like really helpful, and it seemed like obviously for some people it seemed like really too good to be true.
Yeah. Okay.
Like
So,
all you who who downed on this system just for that reason,
chill.
I spite you all.
It's like,
chill.
do you not understand what Nintendo is? Literally, they're a company that cares. They take in all feedback they receive and they try to redeem themselves. It's what they do. They want to fix their mistakes because they don't want to be who they were, kind of thing. I wish people could do that, but we're talking about companies here at the moment, so it's like again, this thing with like the same formula with like PS4 and like Xbox, because PS4 was always about trying to be the best in graphics, always. And then like I don't know what it was with Microsoft and Xbox. I think it was just trying to do like the top like internet capabilities kind of thing. And Nintendo was always about just have fun. And
Yeah.
that was their motive. It's like have fun by yourself or with people. It doesn't matter. That's why they have this broadband range of games kind of thing. And so it's just like, yeah, I don't know. It's a weird thing to get into. But I don't know. Do you have any input on VR stock situations or games? No?
Okay, about the stock stuff.
Oh,
I feel like
Restock
was,
that, man.
marketing,
The marketing flaw.
yeah. Well, not a flaw, but like they thought this through.
yeah.
They announced it 2 days after Christmas, right?
Yeah.
And it was released 3 months after that. So, what I think they did is they released the trailer or whatever announcing it right after, like as soon as they could, and got as many pre-orders as they can before they find out the flaws and stuff with it that they might have, and get all those pre-orders done. And yeah, so out right there. You
So,
I think that's what it was. Is like kind of with obviously when a new system comes out, a lot of people don't
Yeah.
really want to buy it until the next version comes out because
Exactly.
usually the first people who buy it, they always find a bug.
The dock.
Yeah, like see, like there's always a bug, there's always a flaw in the first version. But like obviously they have to fix those flaws and everything, and that's when the new version comes. You don't have to use some memory or updates or anything, like making sure that it works out well. The new version, like that they make of the Switch, basically would already be cleared of everything and still have all that memory that you can use for all your stuff. And I think that's the case because lately, like obviously the two other systems that just came out, yeah, I feel like they really just try to release it right off the bat.
Yeah.
PS4 was pretty good. It's just I feel like obviously like for some people they've been telling me like Overwatch, and it's just
like Overwatch. I'm weird. I'm sorry.
I like the game. It's just like sometimes like obviously because it's an MMO RPG, it kind of like slows down
It's so
way too much
Game of the Year
because
should have gone to Doom. Just saying. So good.
yeah, and then obviously like with the new Xbox, they kind of had some like flaws in actual
big
system
little
itself.
problems.
Yeah, like they had system flaws. As for like PS4, they just had like the internet flaw. Like for like so many people wanted Overwatch, and they kind of didn't expect that too much, and literally had like the internet like stopping, going, and not really working well just because of Overwatch itself. But I feel like that's what like I'm pretty like glad with the Switch because they kind of took precautions. Like they didn't tell you like years in advance. They kind of just told you like 3 months in advance, and you're like, yeah, our thing's coming out. And I think they were just expecting not very many people to buy it. That's why like the stock was low because they're like, no, we're just gonna come with the updated version just in case, and then just go at it with the next upcoming stock.
Which I hope the stock is soon. Because, oh my god, it's like trying to find a unicorn. It's so bad. Like, I went to a battle person on eBay the other day. I do not recommend doing that. You can raise people up to $1,000.
Yeah,
And they will keep going.
eBay, jeez.
It's
Like, dude, just give it up already. Just let me have it, or just
I don't know.
why do you have to be so stubborn?
It's like
Why do people have to be so stubborn?
Another one of the things I thought about, I was sitting, actually just thought about this now, was the fact that it's just like, they spent so long on Breath of the Wild, right?
Oh,
Like
yeah,
7 years. I'm like, are they going to spend as much care and attention as they did with that game on more Switch games? Or is it going to be the fact because they know how to use the console now to be faster development for these things? Or is it still going to be, they're going to announce the game, then take a while to make it kind of thing? So
I think if they were taking as much time and like dedication as Breath of the Wild, it'd kind of be kind of hard because obviously 5 years, like that's already hard enough, but that's also very understandable for like a free run game because they do take a while and you kind of have to make sure like every little thing is functioning. Like you really have to make sure for that.
physics engine that game.
Yeah, and I feel like what it is you kind of I feel like with those games, like it's obviously now they realize like what they have to do and what like commitment they have to put between every single game, but I don't expect them to do as well as Breath of the Wild because it is like a free roam game. You need a lot of time for that. You need a lot of dedication, people, everything. Like you have to think of every single standard of that like aspect. And I feel like the other games they'll actually come out really well. Obviously, like the next Smash Bros for this one.
Not that we know anything about it or anything.
Not that we're saying that you should put it out, but it's highly recommended.
It's happening. That's all I'm not supposed to say it's happening, don't worry. At some point. Just not soon, at some point. Because literally, Reggie himself has stated to us there is at least one rendition of Smash Bros. On every Nintendo console since 1998.
Yeah, which was the Super Nintendo, or
It was the
SE
N64, dude.
It's 64.
Yeah, dude. And so it's just like ever since then, we've always had an edition because it's such a big game that they just can't ignore it.
Mhm.
It's like the laws with Mario and Zelda. Those are their big franchises, so they keep them around. Hopefully, we'll get a better Metroid game than Federation Force. Nobody knows what the heck that was. But it was a travesty. Don't play it. That's all I can say. So one thing I've been disappointed with Nintendo with is literally there was a petition to get rid of that game. They kept it.
Yo, Nintendo, if you're gonna do another Sonic game, bro,
Sega, man.
dude, come on. One job. You didn't have to do the game. Like I know you guys got a lot of flack from that last one,
Don't
but
get me started
Just-
on Sonic, okay? I actually have good arguments for that.
for that game, it wasn't necessarily super bad, but it wasn't like it wasn't self-explanatory. That's kind of thing. It's because like you kind of like just did your own thing on that game, which is kind of a little weird. But it was nice, like all the like the art and also
What do you mean?
all
You
the.
just ran.
You didn't run at all, dude. You walked.
Yeah, you basically walked that game because they made sure you couldn't even go like at the speed of sound at that point. Like yeah, it was kind of hard.
Supersonic slowdown.
And I feel like if they are gonna put out like another Sonic game for Switch, like try to find something that's in between, like obviously the old game and
They did
a
that.
newer way of doing the new game. Oh yeah, like Generation. That was
Okay.
that was. I kind of like Generation though. It was like
Generations is a great game.
yeah, because I really liked it because it kind of gave you that.
Gives you a taste of what makes every game great.
Yeah, like it kind of gave you like the first free roam like Sonic game that was like out in 205. I think
Don't
it was
talk about Sonic 06. Don't bring that
no,
up.
not
Don't bring
06.
that up.
But like
Disgrace.
I think it was Heroes that it was Sonic Heroes when you actually
Sonic Heroes.
yeah like it kind of gave you that kind of feel plus like an older like obviously nostalgia from the older games because it's actually the actual place and which was kind of nice and I really like that like keep that for sure keep that and I thought like that was absolutely great.
Okay, I know we're venturing out the trailer here for a bit. I was gonna say, this is coming from Aaron Hansen from Game Grumps and Egoraptor. He has a point when people only pay attention to bad Sonic games.
True.
He has good games. He has them. Sonic Generations, Sonic Colors, Sonic Black Knight. Not being great, it's still fun though. Like there's things like we've had good Sonic games. Even Sonic Lost World.
Mhm.
That one wasn't talked about a lot. Like I played that one, that was fine. And so the thing is like people only pay attention to the bad ones. Those are the only ones that get publicity. And so it's like
Okay,
I don't know.
so for this, I feel like okay, quoting, and I mean I am quoting another YouTuber, and that is the Game Theorists, and especially quoting MatPat because he actually so in one of the game theories he actually showed that we as people are not as innovative as we want ourselves to be.
No.
Because I say this because he shows on the charts every single Mario game going from top money to like the lowest amount of money. And this isn't going by year by year by year. Like he shows how the year is and it's kind of fluctuating. Like, okay, understandable. But going by top rating, like how much money you get, how much like compared to how much you lost to the game. Everything that was like pretty much basically from the originals and basically exactly the same, you guys paid more for that than the things that you were like, yeah, you gotta innovate Mario, you gotta innovate Sonic, you gotta innovate all these games.
Sonic Mania.
You don't want that. You always want the exact same thing because that gives you nostalgia, that gives you the things like, I love this, this is how the game should be. But you all want to keep saying, I want something different, and then you get mad about that being different.
Same with music industry.
Exactly. Everything
Linkin
like
Park
you
is the argument right now.
it's just you don't want to change. Like obviously, like certain things you should change. Like there are some like things that you should obviously change. There's flaws and stuff, but
It's the only way you're gonna grow. You have to accept change.
yeah, but you got like for like obviously if the games are changing, you have to kind of change your mind as well for the games as well. So like obviously like the Wii and Nintendo, they decided to continuously change always. Always. And their money isn't as good. And you kind of see why, because you guys aren't willing to accept the change.
Nintendo has, why can't you?
PS4 and Xbox gained the most money, and so did PC, and that's because they remain exactly the same. Heck, even most of the Call of Duties got a lot of money. Most of them, and they're exactly the same. And then you complain that they are exactly the same. You complain about that, but yet you're not willing to change.
You buy it.
Go for the Switch at least. Try, like some of you guys, I know you guys are hardcore fans, but go to the Switch, try it out.
Buy it.
Dude, like if you're willing to, you want change, go for change. If you want it exactly the same, go for exactly the same. Don't say the opposite of what you really want.
Yeah, because like I said, you're not gonna grow unless you're willing to accept change.
Yeah.
Industries aren't gonna stay the same because they realize that there's going to be new people, so new people are going to have different ideas, and so
Yeah.
that's the thing with the Switch is because yeah, they have like the Wii U kind of style, and then we do have the market of mobile gamers now.
Mhm.
And so they decided to, what the heck, why not? Why don't we just put these things together? Some people really hated it, and I don't get why. Like, that's a genius idea. You're reaching out to two different audiences at the same time with one product. And so it's just like,
Yeah.
I don't see what the big deal is. I mean, yeah, it's a bit pricey for a Nintendo console, but the Wii U was still more, and it does less than the Switch does. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, the only argument I can really say for the Switch that people could have against it is the fact that it's not as strong as PS4. But it's still a great freaking console. I mean, I don't know.
And for all you people, just saying, I have to actually switch out with somebody right now, so I'm sorry for that.
Oh
but
my god, you just did the pun!
I actually...
I gotta go.
Yeah, but sorry, I gotta go. I have to switch out. Somebody was willing to do this as well, so they're...
Get a new input.
He's gonna actually put in his thing. And I'll just bring him in. I'll tell him to come in here and then have 3 people on the couch again.
Make sure you snap before you do it. You gotta do the Nintendo thing for Switch. That's what they do. All the panels, man.
Yeah,
It's as
so,
simple as...
I'm sorry for all of you.
You better cut it right there and then give it.
I know, it's like, we'll return after this commercial break. By commercial break, I mean it's lunchtime.